President Obama made his case to Muslims around the world today with a major speech in Cairo, Egypt.
Here at home, radio host Rush Limbaugh made his case against the president, David, claiming he went to the Middle East to apologize. Here's the latest from Rush.
So Obama gets to go over there and say, 9/11 was traumatic, but, you know, it led us to act contrary to our traditions and our idea. What the hell is he talking about? Well, in his mind, two things: the Iraq War and Guantanamo Bay. So he's dumping on Bush again. He's blaming his predecessor, and he's siding with Islam and with Muslims, that they are justified in their attitudes of anger toward the United States.
Peter Slutsky is a blogger on Doublespeak in the Huffington Post. Brian Faughnan writes for Red State. Thank you both for joining us. So, Peter, the President Obama never mentioned George W. Bush by name in that speech today, but let me get your thoughts on what Mr. Limbaugh just said.
Well, Rush Limbaugh, is making the case last night on Sean Hannity's show and then today that, he wants Barack Obama, the President of the United States, to fail. And here Barack Obama is speaking to the world. But he's saying now
he's siding with the Muslims, Peter. He says he's siding with them.
Well, I flatly reject that. What he's doing is talking about a new beginning, a new peace that America can bridge with the world and the Muslim world. And, this is just all bombastic positioning from someone who is a public entertainer, and that's really all he is.
Brian, are you saying ditto to Rush when you hear him say things like this, that the president is siding with Islam and some of the other things we just heard from him?
Well, I didn't hear the full quote in context, so let me just say that a little bit fresh to me. But I think that Rush is recognizing that as Barack Obama travels around the world, he is, essentially on an apology tour.
Okay, he said, so you said you didn't hear it. He says, so he's dumping on Bush again. He's blaming his predecessor, and he's siding with Islams and Muslims, that they are justified in their attitudes with anger towards the United States. Is that what you think the president said today?
Well, I think that I wouldn't phrase it exactly that way.
So you're saying he's wrong?
I wouldn't phrase it the way Rush would. I'd say it my way. Okay. I think that the president missed an opportunity, though, to speak more clearly about some of the reforms that are needed in the Islamic world, and I think there was some equivalence and some comparisons in his speech that were unfortunate and poorly chosen.
Brian and Peter, I want to play what Rush said, comparing President Obama to Al-Qaeda.
I can't remember who said this, but, this is something that I thought long and hard about repeating in this interview with you. If Al-Qaeda wants to demolish the America we know and love, they better hurry, because Obama's beating them to it.
Okay, Brian, did you hear that one?
I heard that one, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think that what Rush is recognizing, Rush is saying that one of the main things that Al-Qaeda hates about the United States is the success of our system, democratic capitalism, pluralism, and he's stating, I think, fairly clearly that a lot of that is changing under Barack Obama. We look at the economic policies, at the dramatic expansion of government, the takeover of GM. I think, again, I wouldn't say it the way Rush says it, but that's the beauty of free speech.
Peter, do the Republican leadership, conservatives out there, need to speak out against this kind of language? I cannot imagine, if there was a liberal blogger who would compare George W. Bush directly to Al-Qaeda or some of the other language that's coming out recently.
Well, I mean, the strategist in me says that if they want to win, they better distance themselves fast, and you can see that some of those folks on the right are doing that.
But this is coming in dribs and drabs. We're not seeing a flood of Republicans or conservatives coming out against this kind of talk.
Well, Rush Limbaugh is a powerful entertainer in the conservative movement, and I think a lot of them might be afraid to speak out. But, this is not a strategy to win for them. And the more Rush Limbaugh continues to speak out, it lessens the Republicans' chance of taking over what they need to win in 2010. And as a Democrat, I welcome it. Republicans are going to listen to Rush Limbaugh, their leader, and he's an entertainer, and let him prevail.
All right, Peter Slutsky, thank you very much. Blogger Doublespeak, and Brian Faughnan, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Tamron, we